Well, hello there, folks, and a warm festive welcome back to What's for Tea and our meals of the week for this week. And it's lovely to see you again. And I hope you're all doing well and managing to keep warm because it's been absolutely freezing where we are. So thanks for coming over. So, as usual, I'll just start all the way back on Monday through till today, which is Sunday. And if I've done a video recipe on any of the dinners that you see here, I will always leave them linked underneath this video. So, on Monday, we had tuna pasta, one we have from time to time just because it's so easy, and sometimes I can be quite busy through the week, so making something like this, it's just super easy and it's really tasty as well. So it's basically penny pasta, and I add a seasoning sachet, and you add your own tuna, tomato puree, you can add cheese to this, sweet corn, you can add lots of different things, but I've kept it simple this time with no cheese and no tuna, but I have added some parmesan to the top and also some black pepper. And we also had some garlic bread on the side, but this was the tear and share garlic bread from Aldi, and it is in the shape of a Christmas tree. And I was worried when it came out the oven because I'm thinking, how is this going to pull apart easily? But it actually did. It was just like wee dough balls, and they were ever so cute. Highly recommended if you're in Aldi before Christmas and you're looking for this kind of thing. Do pick it up because I have seen them in other places and they're a lot more expensive. I think this was about £2. Yeah, and it was really tasty as well. So highly recommended if you're in Aldi and you're looking for something similar. So on Tuesday, we normally meet up with a group of folk and we'll order something from the local chippy. I haven't been getting anything out of the chippy for a wee while, so tonight I decided just to get something out of the chippy. So I had these fish cakes. I wasn't sure whether to get the fish cakes or fish, but I've ended up with fish cakes. So this, I believe this is haddock. So these are haddock and potato fish cakes, and there's some chips underneath there as well, and it was really, really tasty. They were so soft, and they weren't dry at all. So I would I was going to say I would highly recommend getting these, but of course you won't because you wouldn't know where I went for them. But I highly recommend fish cakes in general. And then moving on to Wednesday, we had soup and rolls, and this is really easy to put together again, something I would do, if I've had a busy day and I don't have a lot of time. Just get the soup and the rolls out, because obviously you can fill your rolls with whatever you like and whatever you fancy. But I had some bacon and square sausages from the local butcher, so that's what I used. So these are Scottish morning rolls, and I do have a video recipe for these rolls I will leave down below, with some butter. And this roll has the smoked back bacon, and then the other roll has the square sausage. I do again have a video recipe for this square sausage if you want to have a go at making it for yourself. It's really easy actually, and it's very Scottish. We all love a square sausage. And then on the side I've got some mushroom soup. Again, I do have a video recipe for the mushroom soup, although this one is Heinz, but I do have a video recipe for it if you want to go and make your own mushroom soup. And these are just some McCain skinny fries in the middle, just to break up the soup and the rolls a wee bit. I like some crisps or some chips if we're having soup and rolls. It's a bit of a buffet, I think. It looks a bit like a buffet. I'll call it a soup buffet. So there you go, just a wee quick one for a Wednesday night. And then moving on to Thursday, an absolute Scottish classic and one of our favourites, and such a big favourite all over the country. My granny used to make the best mince and tatties, and I never ever got a recipe. I wish I would have done, because it's hands down the best that I've ever tried. But I do get close, but not quite as good as hers. So I always make some creamy mashed potato. I always add butter and cream or butter and milk into my mashed potato, especially with something like this. And that's the minced beef gravy, carrots and onions with some garden peas on the side. I would usually have mashed swede if I was having mince and tatties, but I didn't have any swede. But I do have mountains of frozen peas that I need to get through, so I just added the frozen peas. And then moving on to Friday, we had spaghetti Bolognese, another one we have quite often. Sometimes I'll use the corn mince, sometimes I'll use actual beef mince. So this was the actual beef mince I used this time, and I usually take a wee ladle of the sauce and mix it through the spaghetti just before it goes on the plate, and it just stops the spaghetti, drying out and sticking together and being a bit, a bit less boring, I suppose. So that's the spaghetti there. This is just the dried spaghetti in the box, and I just boiled this until it's al dente, so not falling apart but not hard either, somewhere in the middle. And that's my standard bolognese mix there. And I also added some cherry tomatoes and mushrooms that I had to use up, again with some parmesan on the top. I like to add parmesan to the top of most pasta dishes that I do, and just a couple of slices of garlic bread on the side. Again, this is the Aldi garlic bread slices. You just keep this in the freezer and pull it out when you need it. It's really handy. And then moving on to yesterday, I made sausage rolls. You'll remember last week I done the sausage plat, and I bought 2 packets of the sausage meat. One I used for the sausage plat, but the other one I just popped into the freezer, and I've just turned it into these sausage rolls. They're so easy to make, and I do have a sausage roll video recipe I will leave linked underneath this video, but they are quite small. So I had 2 each with some baked beans, of course, and just a few chips on the side. We weren't really in the mood for too many chips, so just a few of the crinkle cut chips. And this is the sausage meat here. And don't be alarmed by the date on the front of the packet, because this has been in, I did put this into the freezer, so it's absolutely fine. Sausage rolls are just so easy to put together, and they're absolutely delicious in my opinion. And then moving on to today, we had roast chicken, or roast chicken breast. So it's a kind of roast dinner, I suppose, and it does look ever so pretty on the plate. And this time with the stuffing, I actually squeezed it into a cookie cutter instead of rolling it into the balls, just to make it a wee bit fancier. So that's the sage and onion stuffing there. Excuse me. And then a poached chicken breast on the top. These were tiny, I have to say. And then some tender stem broccoli as well. Some roast potatoes finished off in the air fryer, and they go lovely and crispy, and some lovely chicken gravy as well. I was going to do some Yorkshire puddings, but I ran out of time, so we had this minus the Yorkshire pudding, but it was really tasty and just perfect for a cold winter's evening. I mean, Scotland is just freezing at the moment. It's ridiculous. So thank you so much for watching. If you're still here at this point, it was lovely to see you, and thanks again for stopping by, and a huge thank you as usual to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, and to the channel members here as well, and for you all for watching and leaving your lovely comments. And I will see you during the week for another wee recipe, back this time next week, which will be Christmas Eve for our weekly family meals. But whenever you choose to join me again, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you off soon back here on What's for Tea. Take care, and bye for now. Bye now.